In today's world, we are increasingly distracted, constantly postponing our tasks or overloading our to-do lists with unnecessary tasks. And at the end of the day, we are exhausted without having made any real progress. We lack in such cases the focus to be productive. How can we improve this? After watching this video, you will have learned 4 helpful Stoic tips to become more productive and put your focus on the important things in life. First, protect your time. Seneca wrote, "No one is to be found who is willing to distribute his money. Yet, among how many does each one of us distribute his life? In guarding their fortune, men are often close-fisted. Yet, when it comes to the matter of wasting time, in the case of the one thing in which it is right to be miserly, they show themselves most prodigal." We sometimes fail to understand that the time we have is limited. We can re-earn or reacquire lost money or property, but our time? We cannot buy or refill time. We only have a time account which gets less every day. Time is our most valuable resource. For this reason, it is very important that we use our available time wisely. How often do other people take up our time with useless things, be it useless meetings or endless phone calls? Often, we ourselves do not notice how we waste our time with our own activities. And quickly, it was 2 hours on social media again. We actually just wanted to take a quick look, but we went from one post to the next, found the story interesting, and so on. We engage in such activities aimlessly, and they usually have no real added value for us. They distract us extremely from our important tasks and goals. We are no longer focused. Have you ever wondered why some people achieve more, be it professionally, in their family, with their health, spiritually, etc., even though we all have the same number of hours per day? They understand that time is our most valuable resource, and they are conscious of how they use and schedule it every day. Time to work on professional goals and their vision. Time to spend with important people like family and friends. Time to help others. Time to work on yourself. Time to keep physically and mentally fit. And time to regenerate. If we balance these things, we will not only increase our productivity, we will significantly improve our overall well-being and health. Second, set clear goals. Why do we actually waste so much time? It's because we don't have clear goals or a clear vision. Seneca already said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." Without a clear vision of where we want to go, we will, in all likelihood, remain where we currently are. Without clear goals, we are much more easily distracted by anything and everything. We have no focus. Seneca wrote, "Many, following no fixed aim, shifting and inconstant and dissatisfied, are plunged by their fickleness into plans that are ever new. Some have no fixed principle by which to direct their course, but fate takes them unawares while they loll and yawn." According to Seneca, we can avoid this and live a more productive life if we avoid useless activities and have a clear goal. He wrote, "But this first of all, namely, to see clearly for yourself what is necessary and what is superfluous." We can define goals for different areas in our lives, such as health, family, career, or community. Third, do less. Spend most of your time doing the important things. Marcus Aurelius, as Roman emperor, was fully occupied with his work, both political and military. In his Meditations, we find a section in which he admonishes himself to keep the focus on the important things. He wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or, more accurately, do what's essential, what the logos of a social being requires, and in the requisite way, which brings a double satisfaction, to do less better." Because most of what we say and do is not essential. If you can eliminate it, you will have more time and more tranquility. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? This is a powerful message. Our mind does not come to rest when we fill our time with activities, especially meaningless and unimportant ones. Many of us these days are focused on doing more and more things, putting more things on our to-do list, that we end up losing sight of what is important. Our energy is then distributed among so many things that we are exhausted, and at the end of the day, we do mediocre or bad work, we are mediocre or bad partners, parents, siblings, friends. Better to focus on the most important things that align with our goals and thus do less better, as Marcus wrote. Equally, before any task or action, we should ask ourselves, is this really necessary? Can I eliminate this task, this action, and still achieve my goals? Fourth, create a habit system. Epictetus said, "Every habit and faculty is maintained and increased by the corresponding actions. The habit of walking by walking, the habit of running by running. If you would be a good reader, read. If a writer, write. But when you shall not have read for 30 days in succession, but have done something else, you will know the consequence. In the same way, if you shall have lain down 10 days, get up and attempt to make a long walk, and you will see how your legs are weakened. Generally, then if you would make anything a habit, do it. If you would not make it a habit, do not do it, but accustom yourself to do something else in place of it." We all know it. At the beginning, we are motivated. Staying productive and focused over a longer period of time, on the other hand, is not so easy. Energy and willpower decrease. What can help us here are habit systems. Habits are things we do without thinking about them. Habits are actions that have become automatic for us. We can create a habit system that makes us more productive and focused. If we want to make an action a habit, it will be easier if we follow these steps. First, start with an incredibly small habit. Make it so simple that you can't say no. Second, increase your habit in very small steps. Third, break the habit into small pieces as you grow it. Fourth, if you neglect the habit one day, get back on track quickly. Fifth, be patient. Keep a pace that you can sustain. We can illustrate it with an example. If you want to read books regularly as a new habit, you might approach it this way. First, read a page every day. If that seems like too much, you can start with a paragraph or even a sentence. Second, after 2 to 3 weeks, you can slowly increase it to say 1.5 or 2 pages a day. Third, if you have done it over a longer period of time, you might eventually be at 20 pages per day. Here you can divide it, for example, 10 pages in the morning, 10 pages in the evening. Fourth, if you don't get to read one day, it's not a disaster. Just continue reading the next day. Fifth, Be patient over time, thus building a new habit step by step at a pace you can keep up. Small steps lead to a successful path. You can apply a habit system to all sorts of actions that will support your long-term goals. So, what are you waiting for? Or, as Epictetus would say, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, share the video with someone who can benefit from this content. Thank you and stay inspired.